Good Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up today. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with Dr. Eva Ballou with some great tips for you guys during cold and flu season. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Wednesday headlines. We begin with Mississippi news, my home state. The Mississippi State Department of Health reported 1,767 new COVID-19 cases in Mississippi and 91 additional deaths on Tuesday. There have now been in the Magnolia State 225,444 COVID-19 cases in Mississippi and 4,975 coronavirus-related deaths in the state since March. For more than a month, hospitals in the United States have had more than 100,000 COVID-19 patients per day, according to the COVID Tracking Project. Many who traveled during the holiday season are returning home, and there is concern that the amount of holiday travel around the country will lead to a spike in COVID cases. On the day after New Year's Day, the Transportation Security Administration announced it screened nearly 1.2 million travelers. In a related story, Dr. Anthony Fauci says the U.S. could soon give 1 million vaccinations a day. The U.S. could soon be giving at least 1 million COVID-19 vaccinations a day, despite the sluggish start, Dr. Anthony Fauci said on Tuesday, even as he warned of a dangerous next few weeks as the coronavirus surges. The slow pace is frustrating health officials and a desperate public alike, with only about a third of the first supplies shipped to states used as of Tuesday, just over 3 weeks into the vaccination campaign. Anytime you start a big program, there's always glitches, Dr. Anthony Fauci said. I think the glitches have been worked out. Vaccinations have already begun speeding up, reaching roughly 500,000 injections a day, he pointed out. Now with the holidays over, once you get rolling and get some momentum, I think we can achieve 1 million a day or even more, Fauci said. He called President-elect Joe Biden's goal of 100 million vaccinations in his first 100 days a very realistic, important, and achievable goal. In more national news, no charges against Wisconsin officer who shot Jacob Blake. A Wisconsin prosecutor announced on Tuesday that he will not file criminal charges against a police officer who shot Jacob Blake back in Kenosha last summer, leaving him paralyzed and setting off sometimes violent protests in the city. The officer's shooting of Jacob Blake on August 23rd, captured on bystander video, turned the nation's spotlight on Wisconsin during a summer marked by protests over police brutality and racism. More than 250 people were arrested in the days that followed, including 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, a self-styled medic with an assault rifle, who was charged in the fatal shootings of 2 men and the wounding of a third. Kenosha County District Attorney Michael Gravely said Tuesday that he would have to disprove the clear expression of these officers that they had to fire a weapon to defend themselves. He added, I do not believe the state would be able to prove that the privilege of self-defense is not available. Gravely said he had informed Blake of the news before a news conference to announce the decision. Ben Crump, an attorney for Blake's family, expressed disappointment with the decision, saying it further destroys trust in our justice system and sends a message that it is okay for police to abuse their power. He said he will continue to move forward with a lawsuit and fight for systemic change in policing. In entertainment news, Grammy Awards shift to March due to pandemic conditions. The 2021 Grammy Awards will no longer take place this month in Los Angeles and will broadcast in March due to a recent surge in coronavirus cases and deaths. The Recording Academy told the Associated Press on Tuesday that the annual show would shift from its original January 31st broadcast to an unspecified date in March. The Grammys will be held in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. Los Angeles County, the epicenter of the crisis in California, has surpassed 10,000 COVID-19 deaths and has had 40% of the deaths in California. It is the third state to reach the 25,000 death count. The Daily Show host and comedian Trevor Noah is set to host the 2021 Grammys, where Beyoncé is leading contender with 9 nominations. And finally, in business news, U.S. stocks recoup some losses after sharp slide to start 2021. Stocks closed broadly higher on Wall Street Tuesday, regaining their footing a day after suffering their worst loss in months amid the worsening pandemic and potentially market-moving Senate elections. The S&P 500 rose 0.7%, recovering about half of the index losses from a day earlier. The majority of big stocks in the S&P 500 notched gains, with oil producers leading the way as crude prices strengthened. The S&P 500 rose 26 points to 3,727. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 168 points, or 0.6%, to close at 30,392. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Focus on the positive, whether it is seeing rain as a gift from God to the earth or focusing on the positive nature of the people in your life. Keep your positivity light on the bright beam. An idealistic attitude can assist you to see the positive potential in people. At times, you may find yourself discounting people or circumstances that fail to meet your expectations. Learning to look for and distinguish positive potential will enable you to turn disappointments into blessings. Adjusting your expectations takes awareness and practice, as you have been taught since birth to have expectations, motives, and judgments about everything and everyone in your life. Your positive attitude will help you to see situations differently. Today, recognize the people you love as the individuals they are and see your circumstances as changeable. And remember, enjoy your day.
Dr. Eva Ballou is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight, sharing with you some news you can use right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Dr. Eva Ballou joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to share some valuable tips on how we can help to slow the spread of COVID-19 and make the cold and flu season a little bit better for us. Here's part of our conversation. What are some ways that we could help to kind of stop the spread of COVID-19?
So I tell everyone to wear a mask and continue to social distance and wash your hands as much as possible, especially while eating, using high-touch surfaces, or if you're caring for someone who is sick. I do recommend using an EPA-approved disinfectant to disinfect high-touch surfaces around the home, particularly if you're coming in and out of the house or if you have a household member who is an essential worker that has to leave the house daily. You can use Pine Sol Original Multi-Surface Cleaner or Clorox Disinfecting Bleach, which are both 99.9% effective against killing germs and have both been EPA approved, and they also clear the COVID-19 virus on hard, non-porous surfaces.
Wow. Let's talk about that a little bit more, and I appreciate you mentioning that with Pine Sol and Clorox bleach, because, you know, I remember when the coronavirus was really starting to really spread here in the States, one of the things that they mentioned was things that we could do when we're going to the grocery store, you know, where we're putting our bags, that kind of thing. Is there a particular area, Dr. Ballou, that you're noticing that we definitely make sure that we're taking time to disinfect when it comes to using products like Pine Sol and Clorox?
So I recommend people disinfect high-touch surfaces around the home, such as doorknobs, handles, light switches, by using an EPA-approved disinfectant. So make sure you read the label to see if it is EPA registered. The Pine Sol Original Multi-Surface Cleaner is a great agent to use. When you use it at its full strength to disinfect hard, non-porous surfaces, you can apply it to a clean sponge or a cloth. You wet the surface and let it stand for about 10 minutes, and then you can wipe it clean or rinse it with fresh water. You can also do the same thing with Clorox Disinfecting Bleach, which a lot of us already have at home under the sink.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll have you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.